Finals, ha? Stress. What should we do kaya?
Challenging pero I think we can pull this off naman.
Based naman sa guidelines, we can combine the prelims, midterms, and finals.
So I think if ganyan ang guidelines na ibinigay sa atin, we should discuss history muna.
True, pero parang may kulang pa. I think we need to add more spices. Prelims.
Inaantok na ako pero we can go for route structure.
Yes naman, pero we're not done yet na ba tayo midterms?
Akala ko tapos na.
Wait, since we are going outside tomorrow sa Subic Airport, let's discuss flight operations as well.
Better!
Plus, magpakita na rin tayo ng manid ng pilots and other essentials.
Uwe.
Last na.
Since we are going to Subic Airport, we can show them about Airlines Control Center and mas maganda kung about aviation industry.
So, are we done planning this one?
Yes, so do not forget to have fun.
I agree.
Shall we?
Tara na. We shall.
Aba, syempre, we already know the answer. But before that, I think we should ask other people's perspective first.
Kuya, alam niyo yung airline operations and management?
Pang aviation industry. Wala akong idea masyado eh.
Atin kayo po bang baluking airline operations and management?
Yan po, Clark.
Opo.
Tapos Clark. Clark. Clark.
Nakaram po.
Clark 10.
Aking Clark po. Pero atin kayo po parang idea po kung nanoya po ito?
Yung balo mo po ka dito, kung kaya kung correct ka makapagal.
Okay po.
Yung naning kasalukuyan ay kaya balo ni.
Okay po. Ito.
Nong, apa yung mamamuenuan niya dyan?
Jekwan.
Airline Operations and Management.
Takwa mo dyan.
Garod nong.
Meron po ba kayong alam regarding airline operations and management po? Alam. Sige. Thank you po. Kuya, balo may itang airline operations and management?
Alimang po eh.
Do you know what is airline operations and management?
Ako din eh. Hindi ko alam. Sorry.
Wait, kinakabahan ako.
Legit? Final answer?
Di ata ako nakikinig that time.
Game na ba? Ready na ba? Start na?
So, shall we begin? Well, airline operation and management began the earliest airlines emerging in Europe shortly after the end of World War I, often with the objective of providing service to colonial empires. Over time, most countries developed state-owned flag carriers. Airline development in the United States followed a somewhat different path. In the early 20th century, the U.S. public and especially politicians harbored a profound distrust of free competition that led to 40 years of economic regulation of the U.S. airlines.
Then of course, looking at the Civil Aviation Board controlled which airlines were allowed to operate, the routes they flew, and the fares charged. After the industry was deregulated in 1978, an often traumatic transformation swept the industry with consequences that are still felt today. Many new airlines started and failed, accompanied by the loss of some of the great old carriers. Other major airlines grew, developing the hub and spoke route systems that predominate today.
Price structures became increasingly complex even as passengers flocked to new LCCs. Europe, China, and other countries followed the United States in deregulating their airline industries.
And of course, through the paths of the deregulation history in the aviation industry, we all know that the certain branches of subjects in the aviation industry has been a lot to many circumstances. For example, we have the flight structure, the route structure, and the crew scheduling, which means that because of this history, aviation grew. And in today's flight, of course, aviation is now in stakes. And of course, one of the most highlight history that we can tell nowadays is of course the growth of the airline operations and managements since the 19th century of time in the industry.
So, saan flight natin mamaya?
Actually, it's not a flight. Makasana flight naman ito. Actually, we will be having an Airbus 320 simulator experience.
Oh, na-all, di ba?
Naku, anong sana all dyan? Actually, we are blessed at this moment because that Airbus 320 simulator will be having 2 combination lessons there. The route structure and the crew scheduling. Sana, di ba? Talagang matuto tayo mamaya.
Yeah, so, ready na ba kayo padlo?
Yes, we
So, I
are.
believe we're ready. Tara!
Morning, Captain.
Morning, sir.
Captain, are you ready for your A320 full motion experience?
One of the best experiences that an aviator will be having is route structure. Pilots do simulators as well in order to familiarize the route structure of the path. But what is structure? Or I should say route structure.
As a student, an airline must provide a product that passengers value and are willing to purchase at a price from which the airline can profit. This chapter and the next explore the range of airline product. Among an airline, most critical strategic choices are the destination served and the route structure connecting the cities. These decisions flow from even more fundamental strategic choices about the target customer segment and how the airline intend to obtain a competitive advantage in its product offering. These latter questions are the subject of the business strategy and are not considered in depth in these texts.
It is very exciting talaga that in the future generations, my students will be interested in this kind of topic.
So, as we experienced today the Airbus 320X simulator, of course, we are going to discuss one of the midterm's most influential topics. First is the route structure. So, let's discuss route structure. So, route structure is one of the most important and vital facts in giving an essential flight in the airline. So, we have 3 types of route structure. The first type of route structure is what we call P2P or point to point. So for example, Manila to Cebu. Simple as it is, right? After we have the second type, we have the multiple route structure. When we say multiple route structure, multiple, for example, Manila to Cebu to Davao, then to Jensen. Okay, so the last type of route structure that we have is the hub and spoke. The hub and spoke is derived from the Airbus A380, where in the concept of the Airbus A380 is where you're going to fly for the most international airports, then you're going to fly across the world. So that explains that, for example, you have Manila here as the primary source or the primary gateway for international airport. You can come here, Cebu, Jensen, Iloilo, and we can say that we can add this Bactan or Panglao. That is the concept of hub and spoke. So as we go to the route structure, let us now go back to the facility.
As we know route structure, the question is who will operate it? The crew, of course.
Syempre, we have this amazing route to get everything in order.
And the concept that we must be mindful is, of course, the crew scheduling. The concept of crew scheduling is so efficient, it can significantly reduce operating costs. Because crew scheduling is ongoing, complex, and critical airline task, it was one of the first to draw attention from management scientists. The The first step in crew assignment involves building work schedules consisting of a sequence of flights that begin and end at a crew member's domicile.
I hope that you've learned something about crew scheduling, the way they formulate the sequences of each flight, pairing trip rotations, and many more.
The length of the flight sequences, known variously as pairing, trips, or rotation, ranges from 1 to several days. Multiple day pairings will include intervening rest periods, usually overnight. The innumerable variation in the design of pairings with different degrees of effectiveness, efficiencies, and cost. Pilots can only fly one aircraft type, but flight attendants are usually qualified to operate all of the types of aircrafts in the airfield.
On behalf of our group, we would like to extend our utmost gratitude to our subject instructor who gave us the opportunity in doing this kind of project amidst the pandemic. In this last episode, we would like to inspire a lot of aviation students in the true nature of the aviation industry.
On this last episode, we just wanted to focus on the main points on how an airline works.
Siyempre, on the road of that, we need to hear from someone who expert kung ano nila natin gawin from the Airline Operations Center.
Let us now tackle the Airlines Operations Control Center.
Airline Operation Control Center, or AOCC, is one of the major airline management evolution ranking alongside network development and revenue management. Over the last few decades, airlines have moved daily operation managers and staff to a single center in order to improve coordination, communication, and tactical decision